One of the differences between the Adventure 5M and the 5M Pro would be that the 5M does not come with lights from the factory. So let's go ahead and fix that. If we want to put lights into the Adventure 5M, we're going to need a few things, but don't worry, I'll make sure that I have everything that I use today linked into the description. The first thing we're going to need is a pack of 24-volt cob lights. After this, we need a connector so we can connect the lighting into the main board of the Adventure 5M. After this, we're just going to need a few simple tools, mainly a soldering iron and some solder, and something like some snips or a pair of scissors. First, we need to get access to the MCU of the printer. This is incredibly easy. All we need to do is turn it around and unscrew the back panel and remove it. Keep in mind, we don't need to remove the spool holder. We can just take the back cover and lay it flat with the spool holder facing up. Now that we've removed the back panel, we can look right here and see a small yellow JST connector. This is the same connector that is used for the 5M Pro model, and we can use this to add our own lights to the AD5M. The lights that we're going to be installing today, you can pick up almost anywhere. These ones I have here are from Amazon, and I'll have a link in the description as to where you can get them. These are simple cob LED lights that we'll be installing into the printer. Once you take your strip lights out of the packaging, the first thing you need to look for is this pigtail right here. And you'll see some copper spaces on the strip lighting itself. We need to cut that at the first copper spacing right on the cut line. On the top of the printer, you're going to see some screws for the frame. And what we want to do is make sure that our strip is fit in between these screws on the top of the frame, and we'll just cut on the center lines of the copper connections. And to do this, all we need to use is a little pair of snips right here and make sure that we cut right on the center of this cut line. Now we won't be using these right away, so we can go ahead and just lay these inside of the printer off to the side. The first thing we're going to do is take one of our JST connectors here out of the pack. And then we're going to need 2 of the females from this pack. Now 2 of these we're just going to lay off to the side, and that's going to make sense here in a minute. What I need to make here is a split pigtail for the GST connector because we're going to be running our lights to 2 different sides of the print frame. So we don't want to wrap the wire around the whole printer. We just want to be able to pull them both back through here and connect them into the same GST through a pigtail. Now I'm going to take our main pigtail right here, and what I'm going to do is cut it right in half. And I'm going to save these ends right here as we're going to be using them. So now we have 2 sets of pigtails right here. And I'm going to make sure that all of this is cut to the same length. Once all those are cut to the same length, we'll take this little bit of shrink wrap right here and drop it over the pigtail connections. So one on the positive and then one on the negative. And we'll leave those slid down so they're not going to shrink up when we go ahead and solder the connectors. So we need to go the 2 black ones right here, and we'll twist these pairs together, and we'll solder those directly onto our pigtail. Now I could do something like pull out a fancy heat gun, but I'm not really interested in doing that, to be honest. So I have a lighter right here from the candle on the other side of the room. And we'll just go ahead and hold it a little bit below the shrink wrap so we're not going to burn it or char it, and just use that to heat up the shrink tubing. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut down some of my smaller shrink tubing so I can slide that over the connecting female end of the GST connectors. Now I can put that over these ends of the pigtail here, but make sure they're just far enough away where I'm not going to melt them as I'm soldering on the connector. For this step, it's very important that you take the female side of the GST connector and you index it into the male side of the connector. This allows you to make sure that your positive and your negative are on the right poles for the connector. I don't have a pen or a marker on the workspace here, so I'm just going to take these cutters right here and put a little scratch on the negative side of the connector. Now I know when I go to solder that the scratch side is the negative pole of the female connector. Now we have our JST splitter so we can go ahead and run lights to both sides of the frame without having to run wires all over the place. Honestly, this is the hardest part of adding lights to the 85M. Real quick, while I was editing, I wanted to stop and come back so I could hit record and tell you that you don't need to make this custom JST connector. Actually, you can go ahead and buy this, and I'll have the part linked in the description. This is the most time-consuming part of adding these cob lights to the 85M. So buying the pre-made JST plug would save you a lot of time if you're wanting to add these cob lights to the printer. Before we move on, let's take a second to talk about today's sponsor, PCBWay. If you're looking for custom manufactured parts, then check out today's sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay offers a wide range of services, from 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, CNC machining, and even custom manufactured PCBs. Even if you have a 3D printer, PCBWay is capable of doing things that you cannot do at home, such as metal 3D printing in materials like aluminum and titanium, and even stainless steel. So if you have a project or a custom part that you need help with manufacturing, check out PCBWay at PCBWay.com. Everything from this point gets a lot simpler. In the cob lighting strip that we purchased, we have these pigtails right here that just clip on to the end of the cob strip. That means we don't have to solder directly to the strip, which is always a good thing. So all we need to do is take these two pigtails and cut one of them in half. Once we have this cut in half, we just want to go ahead and split it down the middle to separate the two different wires. And from here, I'm just going to take some red and black wire that I had laying around from another project and cut that in half as well. Once that's stripped, I'll go ahead and throw over some shrink wrap. It doesn't hurt to leave a little bit of extra, as I really don't feel like cutting it. It's probably a good idea to get the air filter out, but I'm not going to. This cable is going to run from the cob strip down to our JST splitter. Now all I have to do is make one more. Now we can go ahead and put our cob strip onto our connector here. We just need to make sure that we put our 24 volts positive onto the red side of the connector. All I've done is went ahead and crimped down the connector right here. And I just left a little bit of this film covering on the bottom. So when we install into the printer, we can start by pulling this back as we install the LED. Now, before I install the lighting kit into the frame of the printer, I want to make sure that I go ahead and plug everything up first. This lets me know that there's nothing wrong with the wiring before I waste my time installing it into the printer, as it would be a nightmare to pull it all out and redo it afterwards. If everything's wired correctly, these should come on in a minute, and hopefully nothing blows up or catches on fire. Now, I don't think I'm going to have an issue seeing what's on the build plate through the camera with this lighting. On the frame for the 85M, there's a little spot between the back and the frame itself where you can easily pass the wires for the LED strips through the frame without obstructing anything like the belts or the stepper motors. This could be found right here at this lower connecting rail where you can easily pass through the LED lights. Now that the cable's through, we just need to lightly pull it and work it underneath the stepper motor to the side of the frame. To do this, we're just going to pull on the back here really lightly and take the front and just work it back and forth until it slides under that section of the stepper motor. Once we have that done, we can simply tuck it next to this right under the side of the frame. Once we've worked that between the stepper motor and the side of the frame, now we just have to take the adhesive film off of the comp strip and put it on the underside of the top frame. And now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up some of the wires here on the back of the case. Maybe it's just me, but I really love the open frame design of the Adventure 5M. But once you go ahead and throw some cob lights into the top of the frame, it really makes it pop and brings it to life. I think this looks amazing and I absolutely love it. And FlashForge doesn't mind people modding their printers. On the contrary, they actually encourage it. If you look online, you'll see all sorts of different files that they've uploaded and different people in the community have shared for enclosures and different mods for the Adventure 5M. But let me warn you, once you take the back panel off and you start messing around towards the MCU, there's a high likelihood that you could void your warranty. So if you want to do this, proceed at your own risk. Personally, for myself, this is a risk well worth taking, as the end result is hard to argue with, both in function but also in aesthetic. Now I've got this whole roll of cob strip left over that I don't know what to do with.